computer? About the computer.
It says recording. I see a little thing up there that says recording.
Yeah, it's recording. All right, here we go. So, hey, welcome back to the Y.E.S Longevity Podcast, where we give you some insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. I am Chris Borda, owner of Y.E.S Fitness, coming to you from my home this evening because we are doing a Zoom call with a special guest, Stephanie O'Neill. She's been with us, what would you say now?
I think I joined mid to late August.
Mid-August. It was after COVID. Obviously,
Yep.
it was after COVID when you joined with us. So,
Oh,
so
COVID's over? I didn't know that.
So she's, I really appreciate you coming on board tonight. Thanks for coming on board with us, Stephanie.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I always like to put out there some stories about people, what's going on in their lives and why they joined, and, try to help somebody else get inspired to exercise. Yes, this is good for me because it's going to have some positive advertising out there, but it's also really about trying to inspire some other people to make some changes in their life. So one thing that we need to know about Stephanie right up front is that, yes, we're 40 plus, but Stephanie is way under 40, right?
So way under 40, yeah.
So way under 40. And people have this, idea that you have to be 40 to join our facility, and you don't have to be 40 to join. So we have people from their teens all the way up to, we have two women that are 88 years old, which is really just incredible. And no, they're not exercising in chairs, listening to Frankie Valli. So, and another thing about Stephanie is she's a mom. She works, mom of two young children, both under 5, right?
Yeah, I have a 4-year-old and 2-year-old boy. They're
4-year-old
incredibly...
and 2-year-old boys, and a wife. And what I really find amazing is, and I'd like to compliment you on this, is the fact that over my years in the business, I typically don't see people or women successful in their 20s and 30s when they have families and careers, because family comes first. But, you have etched out some time for yourself. And I remember when you first started, it was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get here a couple times a week. And it's really a testament to yourself and your husband that you guys have been able to put this together. Now you're down there 4 or 5 days a week. So tell me what it's like being a mom and having a career and a wife and trying to fit this all in.
Yeah, so it's hard. It's not easy. I enjoy it. I love it. I would never choose anything different. So basically, I remember this distinctly. I turned 36 in August this year. And I was like, I'm tired. I'm stressed. COVID is killing me, like just work-wise, everything. And I'm just scrolling through my phone and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do something for myself. Because I think as moms, I think we put everybody first. I think we make sure the kids are okay, make sure, everything's okay with the house, groceries, everything else. And we kind of get pushed to the wayside. And I was just like, I'm going to do this for myself. I'm going to buy myself a birthday present. So I was looking at gyms, and I looked at your gym previously after my second child was born, because I was like, I want to get back in shape. Never made that full commitment. And then I said, you know what, let's just do this. So I emailed you guys emailed back within, I think, 12 hours. And I think I was in the next week doing a fitness evaluation. And you've been stuck with me ever since.
Now, I love training you because you work really hard and you have a lot of fun. And there's nothing worse than somebody who's just tired and grumpy and somebody who doesn't want to work hard, that have to push all the time. I don't need to do that with you at all. You're an ex-athlete, and, we like to get into that little ex-athlete mindset sometimes, and you push yourself, and that's very cool. Very cool. So
yeah, I give a lot of credit to sorry to cut you off, but I give a lot of credit to my husband, because as he walks by me, because he's probably wanting to hear this, but he works out about the same time I do, and he's able to, so I leave in the morning. I'm usually at the 6 or 6:30 classes, and he works out in the morning, but then gets the boys ready for school. And then I'm coming home and I finish up getting them ready to school, and then we basically hustle out the door as quickly as we can. So without him, there is no way that I'm able to get down there. So, and he does a lot of cardio himself. So we kind of push each other at this point to do that. He's a big athlete too. He, played hockey for a long time, still plays hockey. Even though I'm not big of a fan because I'm afraid he's going to get hurt, but so we're both very competitive people, and I think that works well for us right now.
It's a nice team. It's nice to hear that you guys work together. A lot of times you don't hear that the the mom is doing everything and the dad's
Yeah.
sitting on the couch. So that's awesome that you guys work together. Hey, how did he make out with the Thanksgiving workout? Because he didn't. He was on. He had a Thanksgiving
Okay.
workout, and he was on
He's
Zoom,
gonna
but he wouldn't let us see it. So he had
no,
his
he turned off the
camera off.
camera on purpose because he knew, because he's just been doing straight cardio, and he and I used to go to these, boot camp style classes all the
Yeah,
time. He knew he was going to be drenched within about 3 minutes, and he was. And he was probably sore for 2 to 3 days later because he doesn't do lunges. He doesn't do,
right.
the metabolic stuff. He just goes an hour and change on a exercise machine, which I
Right,
could
right.
never do. I don't know how he does it. I can't do it, but he was sore for a good solid 2 to 3 days. And then he started eating like crazy. He's like, oh, my metabolism must be up. And like, so
That's funny. That
yeah.
is funny. So, so tell us a little bit about some of the problems that you were dealing with prior to joining Yes Fitness.
So I figured out that 2 little boys take up a lot of your time and it's just chaotic. The sleep is crazy. Life is just crazy. You rush home from work, pick them up from school, get dinner on the table. And by the time they go to the bath, it's like, oh, great. I have a half an hour to myself. So I
Yeah,
was like, something needed to change, something needed, and then COVID hit, and I've never eaten more baked goods in my life than over this summer. And I don't even eat baked good. Like it was stress eating and everything else. And
yeah.
it just started, I didn't like where I was mentally, physically, anything like that. So I said, something's got to change, and definitely needed to do something to I mean, it wasn't like I was in a danger zone of anything like that, but I wasn't liking where I was heading. I didn't like
Right.
where things were going. So I definitely am enjoying, I mean, I'm still tired, boys are boys, and
Yeah.
life is life, but it's a different tired. I sleep better. I just feel better.
Mm. The at first it was just a joke, kind of a joke, the COVID-15, but that 15
Oh
is
no,
starting
that
to
was,
grow. It
yeah.
is really starting to grow now because we're going to be getting on to a year before we know it. And a year of someone not doing anything, stress eating, lousy sleep, people are going to be put on 20, 25 pounds easily in this past year when this thing is all said and done. So
Yeah, I
what was
think I put
it?
on like about 8 pounds really quickly, like from like March to, because I had started to do, we bought an exercise bike. I was trying to do that, trying to maintain stuff, and it wasn't
Right.
helping. And then 8 pounds later, I'm like, geez, like I got to change something.
Yeah. So what was different about Yes? Why did you decide to give us a try?
Um, well, I wanted something. Coming from where I was athletically in my 20s, I suffered a lot of injuries, and I've always gotten good results at boot camp style gyms,
Hmm.
but I always ended up getting hurt at some point, or
Yeah.
not necessarily hurt, but just to the point that I couldn't do the exercises anymore. And what attracted me to Yes was the fact that there was a lot of you guys kind of took that more into consideration than I've ever seen before. Like
Right.
the whole I guess workout I don't want to say it's a physical because it's not a physical, but like just a benchmark of where you are
Yeah.
flexibility wise, injury wise. That was the most comprehensive one I've ever been to. The ones previously they would set you up with a class, like an intro class, to show you the
Right.
moves and things of that nature. And they would say, oh, give me a heads up on if you have, a shoulder injury or knee injury. But halfway through the workout, they're going to be like, oh, increase your weight. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it, because I'm super competitive and I don't know when to stop. And all of a sudden I have degenerative disc disease. So then that flares up. My knee hurts. I need someone to save me from myself sometimes. And doing this, at certain paces seems to help.
Mhm. Yeah, that can happen in boot camp, and we start to get a little bit older. And yes, our clientele is a little bit older, so we are very focused on that. We're very focused on trying to make some kind of complete evaluation screening when somebody comes in the door. And even when you're into class, I mean, you like today, you told us your knees were bothering you a little bit. Hey, let's just change something. You know what I mean? There's no need to be doing something that bothers your knees until they start until the flare goes down. You know what I mean? Because it's going to
Yeah.
happen. It's going to happen. So you
Yeah.
you come on board.
Just because you're older too. I mean, truly, like, these exercises aren't for the faint of heart either, though. Like, it's not like I mean, I challenge any 20-something to walk in off the street and try to do half of the stuff that we're doing at the weights that they're doing and things like that. So it's not, I don't want to say that it's not what they call a dumbed down workout. These are legitimate workouts. It's just, the mentality is, let's make this a long-term fix, not a short-term, like get ripped and then see what happens kind of thing.
The people in the classes and private, they're in such good shape. They don't even realize it until the holiday workouts. So we didn't get to do it this year because of COVID, but in the holiday workouts, we always do something special, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And even over the summer, sometimes we do some events, and they like to bring down their kids. They're usually, high school kids or college kids. And well, Diane Marshall brought her son down, and he's a Division II soccer player, and worked out, and he was sore for days after Thanksgiving. And, and if the rest of us are like, we're not sore at all. Now, he had some stuff that he doesn't normally do, but, people are in much better shape than they think they really are. And I think when they really realize it is, before, when we could go away, they would go on vacation for a week or two, or they take the summer off, and they come back, and they're just like, holy smokes. I used to be able to do that. Now I can't anymore. And that's when they really realize what kind of shape that they're in. They don't realize it when you're in shape because you just do it, right? We just do it. But it's when you come back after being away a little bit that it really makes a huge difference. And we do definitely work hard. So you come on board, and we have a little 30-day trial period that you really get to feel for what we do and figure it all out. So was there a point in that 30 days that you said, you know what, this is it, I like this place, I'm gonna stick with it going forward?
Well, I was pretty much sold after day one. That's just kind of, I like to make decisions kind of quickly, but I mean, I was very comfortable with, I was a little nervous coming in because I was like, I haven't done this in years, and I don't want to throw up. That was my main goals. Please don't throw up.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then I felt very dizzy the first, I think we did ball slams, and it was obviously I hadn't done anything in a while. But I was comfortable with, the amount of people in there. I was comfortable with the safety precautions that you guys were taking. Cause that was a big thing. Cause, you got to make sure everybody stays healthy in there, because you obviously get some issues. But just, I loved it. And it kind of brought back the competitive, juices that used to, or they're still there. They're just kind of buried a little bit here and there.
We got to bury them a little bit for safety. So what class did you take first? Did you take a meta class first?
I think I took them. No, I took them Monday. It was Get Strong. It was Get Strong. So
was it Get Strong? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think you said Monday morning, 6 a.m. I said, I'll be there.
So I always find it very interesting. I mean, you're an athlete because you lifted weights before, but I do find it interesting that a lot of women that come on board really like to do the Get Strong class. They like to lift weights. It's empowering. They realize that they can really get stronger, and it helps them move better and feel better. And, sometimes it'll be like, okay, the husband will be like, okay, we got to move the couch. And they just pick up their end of the couch and just move it, right? And the husband's like, hey, you can't do that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what it's like to have the community and the support that we have down at Y.E.S Fitness.
Oh, the girls there are great. They're not, you don't have that intimidation factor, which is nice, which I think helps a lot of people if they're not used to the gym class setting. Because I found a lot of women, I used to golf. I mean, I love golf, but I found a lot of women when they played golf, if we put up a sign that said tournament, they'd back off because they were kind of intimidated on the competition and everything like that. And I think that kind of transcends to different aspects of, athletic ventures. And I think this gym is, people still work hard, but people actually care, like, hey, how are your kids? What's going on? Like, what are you doing for work? Like things like that. So it's a great combination of both. Like you get that competitiveness of, doing what you need to do at the gym, but you also get the emotional support side and everything like that.
I don't, go out and about scouting other gyms, but I do drive by some other gyms. And there's so many places that are closing. And I just think that community is what's keeping our doors open right now, because, going down to 25% capacity again, some other people left because they're just concerned about the virus, despite the fact that I believe the gyms are safe. But there's just that strong community feeling. The people that are there, they know that everybody's going to take care of themselves. Everybody's going to do the right thing. We all know that when you're outside of the facility, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing for COVID. We're social distancing. We're wearing a mask. We're washing it. You know, there's nobody has to worry about anybody else
Yeah.
when they come into the facility, you know? So I think we should have a golf outing. Are you good at
Okay.
golf?
I can hold my own. I'll do all
Oh,
right.
because, you know, we got a lot of golfers.
I know Brenda golfs.
Brenda
I
golfs.
actually used to golf with Brenda. She didn't remember me back then. I was a lot younger. But I golfed with her and Tom and the boys a couple of times at Pequavic. But
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I know, you know, we have, there's a couple of golfers on the male golfers on the private side. You probably don't know, you don't know Doug, but I don't know Ed. But Brenda golfs, Andy Sorbo golfs.
Yep.
I'm sure Melissa Pelcher golfs because her husband's a golf coach. At night, we have Lynn and Linda golf. They've been coming together, I don't know, 20 years they've been coming to the gym now. I bet you we could get we get a little outing out there, have a little competition.
Do some burpees in between like the drives or something.
Exactly. I can run the warm up because I can tell you right now, it has to be a scramble because no one's going to want me on their team.
That'll work. Whatever gets me on the golf course doesn't matter to me. It's some excuse.
Every other one is straight when I hit it.
That's better than every three, I guess. You know?
Exactly. So, what do you think the biggest difference between Y.E.S and the other gyms that you've been to? Because you've been to other places. I mean, this isn't the first time you worked out, so you've been to a lot of different places, and I'm sure you enjoyed them because you were there for a while.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that stands out about Y.E.S that see?
I think Y.E.S is a good fit for me right now where I am in life in general, just would be able to balance everything. You know, it's not too big, but it's big enough that you have all the equipment, like you have the TRXs, you have the ropes. Obviously we're a little constrained on how to be able to use them right now, but it's small enough to say like, you still get that one-on-one feel, even though you're in a class of 7 or 8 or 9. You know, I've enjoyed every gym that I've worked out at. I've gotten great results every time I've worked out at. It's a lot more, I feel I don't know if it's just the types of people that were working out at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, but they're very accepting. They're very like, hey, throw your music on, you know, because I know that most of them probably don't like them or like it or necessarily grew up on it. But they said, yeah, let's throw I like your playlist. Let's do that. You know, it's just different things that, you know, we're able to do. It's just the intangibles, I guess you would say.
You know what's very interesting about the music, and we talked about it a little bit before you came on. Obviously, music is obviously the hardest part of my job. You can never get a playlist right, and I'm not good at doing playlists. But it's amazing to me that so many people, and we're probably 70-75% females. They like the classic rock playlist.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. I don't know.
I cannot work out the classic rock. And I play something, they don't like the dancey stuff. They don't like the traditional aerobics music. I played some stuff the other day and we were playing, what do they want to hear? They wanted to hear the Talking Heads. Now, who works out to the Talking Heads? Okay. I mean, I can listen to a little Talking Heads, but am I going to work out for an hour listening to the Talking Heads? That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted to hear. So it's very interesting.
My goal is to get Joanne to take her headphones off and actually listen to our playlist. Cause I'm always curious what she's got it so loud that she can't even hear us. We're like, you're right. You know, with the heart rate monitor, we're like, oh, no, you're good. And she's like still sprinting ahead. Like my goal at some point is to get her to not have to wear them and see if she would go with that.
Because it's funny, I'll coach her and I'll say something like, you know, and she doesn't even hear me. She doesn't even hear me. We should make her play her playlist.
I'm curious what she listens to.
Me too, because she won't listen to our music. So I think we should do that. So we're going to force her. We'll hold her down and take her phone.
Take her phone and just plug it in.
That'd be pretty funny. So what would you say to somebody who might be on the fence about checking us out?
I'd say just do it. Just whatever reservation you have, whether it's I don't have the time to do it, I can't do, you know, just there's no harm in just trying. What's the worst that happens? It just doesn't work out, you know. You just have to commit to yourself. And I mean, truly, like, this working out has helped tremendously with everything in my life. I wish I ate better to help see more results more quickly, but like that's life. Like I think I had pizza like 3 times this week because we work late or something happens,
Right.
that's what's available. It is what it is, but it's just make the little change, make that first step, and then make another little change and a little change. And it's gonna eventually, it'll pay off. It will.
It pays off. People are much more successful when they make small changes as well. When you try to do too much at one time, it usually just, I forget what the number is, but like if you make one change, statistically about 85% successful. When you make 2 changes, you go down to the 30% somewhere. When you try to make 3 changes, you're a single digit. You might as well not even try. And I think that nutrition is the biggest challenge for people. Absolutely the biggest challenge.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
I mean, I love my pasta still. I love my pizza. I mean, but then when I first, I've discovered more plant-based stuff. So like chickpea stuff instead of, so just like tiny little changes, have paid off. So.
Well, I appreciate you coming on board with me tonight, Stephanie.
Yeah, no problem. I said, I'm not letting pasta go. Like, it's not possible.
I'm not letting pasta go either. But people think, listen, I have a burger sometimes. There's no way I'm not going to have a burger. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I grew up on meatballs. I'm Italian, so I'm having pasta and meatballs. I'm just not going to have it 3 days a week. But I have it. And when I have it, I have mounds of it. So anyways, I appreciate you coming on board, Stephanie, and sharing your story with us. It's great. I hope that it helps someone else get the butts in gear and start working out and try to make some changes in their lives, whether it's getting outside and walking, although it's getting to that tough time of the year for that, or coming out and checking us out, because we are, what's the word? 100%
We're open.
guaranteed.
We're here. Come hang out with us at 5:30, 6:30 in the morning. It's fun.
We're here. We have fun. We're safe.
It's hard too.
It's hard. We work our butts off, despite what people might think. We work really hard. We're not exercising in chairs, listening to Frankie Valli, I always say, right? This is the comment, and people might get upset by this, but when somebody says this is hard, I say, if you want easy, go to Curves. Because
if it wasn't hard, everybody would do it. So like, you just gotta just get it. Like, I mean, I'm in decent shape, and some of these women here who are 15 to 20 years older than me, a solid 15 to 20 years older than me, are putting up more reps, more weight, and are doing it without, seems to be breaking a sweat compared to what I'm doing. So I'll get there, but it's just, it's not.
You'll get there. Right. You know what? Everybody's at their own level too. I mean, whatever people can do is what we do, but whatever level you're at, we're going to work. We're going to work hard, and we're going to make sure
it's about the effort,
Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate you taking the time.
No problem. Do it again.
Anything you need, you come and talk to me about it. And
absolutely.
And I'll see you in the morning.
My book came in too. My book came in this week. I gotta get an autograph.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it down. Bring it down. It's funny. I try to write. I don't just sign my name. I mean, because you wouldn't be able to read it anyway if you saw my name. So I was describing it. But I try to put a little something in the book when I write that. For those people who don't know, I just launched Get Stronger, Live Longer, the Y.E.S Guide to Strength Training for Longevity. It did become the #1 seller, #1 release on Amazon for that day in our category. So I'm extremely excited about that. Strength training is super important for so many reasons. And when people wake up and realize that exercise isn't just about trying to lose weight, all the other factors that correct cardiovascular work and correct strength training do to your body to help you live longer, you realize that the body's really designed to work. It's the only machine that, when worked correctly, gets better. Every other machine wears out and breaks down. So that's something that's interesting. So yeah, bring the book down. I'd love to sign it for you. I know exactly what I'm going to say.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All righty. So you guys can check us out next Tuesday. We'll give you some more insight on how to get fit, feel longer, better. And I appreciate taking the time to watch us this evening and listen to what we have to say. And everybody be safe. Thanks. Thanks, Stephanie.
See ya.
Have a good night.
You too.